Welcome back, everybody. This lesson is a bit scary. We are going to go inside the house of the old lady, and if at first we thought she was friendly, kind of a helpful little lady, maybe we discover something a little bit scary afterwards, and you know, something sketchy happens. So I hope you'll enjoy this next part of the adventure with me. Let's go ahead and create level 5, the insides of the house, a bit more on the dialogue before we go for the real battle. Right, guys, if you take a look at the code, it's quite massive right now, and it's starting to get a little bit complicated to navigate our way through, but no worries. Here is the quick solution. You can right click anywhere on the screen, and you can click on collapse first. For those of you on iPad, just find an empty space on your canvas, put your finger down, it's called tap and hold for about a second, and this menu will appear. So go collapse blocks, and you see they're all much smaller now, but they're a little bit scattered around. So right click once again, please, and in this case, please click on format code. And now this is much easier, isn't it? That's a completely different story. Oh my goodness. Right, I hope this helped tidying up your canvas, and we can now start with our level 5. On level 5, we want to create a house, or better, the inside of the house. I'm going to make it a little bit plain at the beginning, but I'm going to try and add some elements of pixel art and give you some inspirations on how to customize your designs, and I hope you'll enjoy this. Please bear with me because that's not my expertise. I'm not that good with drawings, but at least it can give you a little taste, okay? We're going to set up 2 spawning points, one for our character and one for the Demoness, which we don't really know that she's a scary one yet. And then we're gonna create a little bit more of the dialogue following up on Miss Laura's lesson. And it will get spookier and spookier. Level 5 is inside of the house. So let's go onto scene and grab our tile map, because it's going to be a brand new one, okay? So set tile map 2. You see on the bottom right here it says 16 by 16, but I'm going to have to change it to 10 by 8. Why? Because that's the exact size of our screen calculated in tiles, and I don't want to use the camera for this particular one, okay? So let's stick to that. I'm going to use for now some pre-built tiles which are part of the dungeon, and in a few moments I'm just gonna create our house. Okay guys, so I've just designed a little map of a house using the tiles that were already built in, but not to worry, I'm gonna show you a few tricks on how to make your own in just a minute. What I like you to do though is, you see that this floor is made by the exact same tiles over and over again. Can you please choose 2 different tiles? So for example, I'm going to place one somewhere here by the entrance, and another one, a completely different one, somewhere away from the entrance. Okay, so you see it's on this side of the screen and this side of the screen. The reason for placing 2 tiles which are completely different is because this one is where Yuke will be placed, and this one is where Onibaba, or the old lady Demoness, will be placed. Actually, we need to create her first of all, okay? So let's do first thing. We're gonna place our Yuke, so it's the usual block, and inside the scene, scroll down a little bit and place this one, okay? So make sure you match it to Yuke. And on top of random, remember which one. I hope this is the correct one. Second, we need to create the Demoness. So she's gonna be the old lady. We might need to create a brand new variable. Okay. And instead of being enemy, so instead of being player, I think this one should be called boss, because she's the big enemy, right? And let's go and select her looks. As always, you can design. I'm just going to use something pre-made. I'm going to use this one just because she is looking towards the left-hand side. And we can use the exact same block by duplicating it, match with the old lady, and go and select the other tiles. So they will appear facing each other. All right, this is it. Let's now take a quick look at how the dialogue has taken shape. We are at the moment, we've done this. We've got come in, sit down by the fire, and something else should happen. So there is a noise. Something has happened. And just to give the player a little bit of time to realize what's happening, we should perhaps pause the game for a little bit. And to pause, it's very simple. We can search for pause. And maybe we can give it maybe 2 seconds just to get the bearings right, okay? So that should be enough. And then we've got a little dialogue that says, what's that spooky noise? That, just a storm. I'm sure you guys already know what to do, so we go onto story and get our print character text. You feel free to copy-paste the text if you like, or write in your own version. Remember to create the labels, because it's really important that we keep track of who is saying what. If you don't want to go into story to get the next block, remember you can always right-click, put something, duplicate. Is the old lady responding here? There should be a sound. And don't worry, this is the topic of the next lesson. We're going to start adding some sound effects on pretty much all of our game, because so far it's been very, very quiet. But don't worry, this is just because we created the architecture first. So this is that, just a storm. Then we keep going. Is that a giant axe on the wall? Oh my goodness gracious, there's a giant axe that we need to do on the wall. So let me just grab in a couple of more character text. So this is a giant axe, and it's UK saying it. Once again, duplicate, old lady. Let's see what she was saying. That is just for wood. Let's take a look at what's happening next. There is one more set of dialogues here. Why is it so cold? I'll get firewood. Stay here. Do not open the door. Okay, but I'm curious. So we need to design a few things, don't we? The axe, the fireplace perhaps, the door, and let's see what else. Okay, everybody, so we have created the dialogue, or better, we have imported the dialogue from our script into the game. There's not too many challenging parts for this, but of course it might take some time to drag and drop all the blocks and write it up correctly. You can make the story as long as you like, and as I anticipated, don't worry, there will be space for sounds in the next lesson. But what I'd like to do right now is to give you a little quick inspiration on how you can create your own tile maps so that your game looks a bit less standard and a bit more connected to the story. So first of all, we're inside a house and not necessarily a dungeon, even though I'm semi-happy with the floor. The walls looked a little bit silly, to be honest. So let's see how we can create it. The beautiful form of art that we use for this particular style is called pixel art. So my suggestion is search for a picture on Google and then try and make it in your own version. So first things first, I'm going to search for a wooden wall on pixel art and see what comes up. So I'm just going to type in wooden wall. Pixel art. And then just click on images. Some of them might be a little bit complicated. Some of them might be much simpler. So, you know, I'm going to go for super simple. And here you go. You see these? They're quite nice. I think we can get the gist of how this works. There's a few horizontal lines, there's breakthrough, and then there's slightly different shades of the color to make sure that the different planks are of a different side with a different shade. So let's go and create our own, and this is how we can do it. Please head on over back to your tile map and wait for me there. We need to create our custom tile map. So a couple of clicks to get there, My Tiles. Then click on the plus, you see this plus sign here, and this will open up our very own tile map. So for this, I'm just going to use perhaps brown, orange, and these two gray things. So feel free to copy directly from me or from any Google image that you like. Alright guys, so once you have it, this is absolutely fine, but just name it properly. So I'm just gonna call it wooden wall horizontal, and then click on done, which is right under the temple that I'm speaking to you from. You can go ahead and modify it, so you can just, you see, you can go over the ones that you've done already, but in here, we want it to be able to turn around. So to make it a little bit more realistic, what I'd like you to do is create a copy of that. And to create a copy, you can use the duplicate, enter with the edit, and then you see these triangles up here. You can rotate them until you find the one that you like. And this is wooden wall vertical. Click on done once you're finished, and do go ahead and replace the other two parts. Okay? You can do the exact same job with the corners, if you like. I'm a little bit stuck for time here, so I'm just gonna be a bit lazy, and here you go. This is the inside of the house. Let's check back on the dialogue and see what it says. So there's a spooky noise, which we're gonna add later, and there's a giant axe on the wall. Okay, not to worry, same process. Let's go and Google for axe on pixel art, and let's select one that we like. I'm just gonna go for simple. Let's see if we can make a copy of this one. By the way, you can also open two separate windows. Keep your image somewhere available there, so you can copy it back to front. Go ahead and create a new tile, maybe starting from one of these wooden planks and building the axe on the top. No, but actually, I'm quite impressed. So once you're done, you can place your axe somewhere on the wall, okay? There you go, and click on done. Let's go back into the story and see what's happening next. It says, why is it so cold? I guess firewood, stay here. Do not open the door. Okay, so there's two things here that we might need to add. One is a fireplace, and one is a door. So same exact thing. Head on over back to the tile map and search for a fireplace first of all. And the fireplace needs to be dark, it needs to be off. All right, quite pleased with this, I must say. So there's the fireplace there, and you can see that it's very, very small, okay? And final thing for your design, please go and search for a door, a wooden door. Right, this might not be the best looking door you've ever seen, but I think, you know, fair enough. That should do it. Okay, so we've got our map ready. So the story makes a bit more sense. And I think it's time to do a little bit of a demonstrations to see what would happen next. There is a little glitch here, but we can fix it real quick. It's just asking if we want to open the door or not. So I'm just going to go for a yes, and let's see. Come in, sit down by the fire. Thank you. And we are inside the house. What's that spooky noise? That's just the storm. Is that a giant axe on the wall? That? Just for chopping wood. Why is it so cold? I'll get firewood. Stay here. Do not open the door. Okay, but I'm curious. A few things to modify here. As you've seen, the dialogue has run through a little bit too quick. So between at the end of level 4 and the beginning of level 5, we need to make a little waiting moment. So let me just find the blocks for you. All right, so take a look on level 4. And you see this character text. Unfortunately, that was a little bit too quick because we were going straight for the house. So let's add a little pause here, just in case we are already on top of the house, because obviously it depends on where we find the last yin-yang stone. Okay, so we put a couple of seconds where nothing is happening. Then we go and find the house, and here we go. Then there was this little issue that this color stayed the same. So can you make a copy of it and go back into level 5? And inside level 5, add a coloration that brings it from steampunk back into original, so that we are inside the house. So this is light once again. All of these seem to be correct. I don't think there was many problems, but what I like to do, just to be a bit more thorough, is to make the old lady move towards the door. And this is how we can do it. Click on the map and grab the coordinate of not this door, because this is the door that we're gonna go to, but this door up here, which is on, for my map at least, is on 0, 3. So we can, at the end of this, we can ask the character to move, because you see you got movement. Okay, you can go to 0, 3, but it's a little bit complicated here because these are not the tiles, these are actual coordinates. So we might have to play around a little bit, but anyways, you've got the old lady. 0 is 0, it's okay, but I'm gonna need you to do a little bit of maths because the tile is number 3, but it's 16 pixels each. So what's the final result? So that should be about 48. And actually, to be precise, is anywhere between 48 and 66, because it's the entire size of the tile map. So I'm just going to put something like 52, which should be in the middle of our tile. Speed 100 is a bit too fast, so I'm just because she's an old lady, so she needs to move a little bit slower. So she gets there, and then we press on OK. Let's check on the dialogue, see what else is happening here. There is a new choice. We need to check whether we are getting to the door and deciding yes or no. So let's move our character, and in this case we duplicate. If you cannot duplicate, not to worry, please head on over to story, go to sprite movement again, and in this case is gonna be UK. And let's check where that door is, and we place UK right in front of it. So the door is here, and it's on my 9-4, but I want to place UK somewhere around here, so 8-4, okay? It doesn't need to be precise, it could be anywhere around this area, that's absolutely fine, but 8-4, that should be fine. So I'm going to try, when it comes to X, I'm going to put somewhere around 85, so it's more or less a little bit more than the half of the screen, and then the height of the screen is 120, so I'm just going to do about 60 here, and this is going to be quite slow because of course UK is not so sure of what's going to happen. And at this stage, once this is all happened, we can put a little pause, again maybe 2 seconds, because this is a, you know, kind of a cinematic, as they say in the games, and UK can say to himself, and it's the same block, print character text, which is should I open the door? You can show player choices. There's a simple yes and no. So if it's a yes, something should happen. If it's a no, something else should happen. You now know the trick, and all you need to do is go to logic, if, press the plus twice, sorry, just once, and get the minus, go back to story, get your player choices, which is towards the end, last answer equals. Type it in if you're very confident, if not, please just copy paste it. And here we go. If it's oh no, it's oh no. And if it's yes, it's I promise, but there is a banging sound. Is someone trapped? Okay, so here we go. Usual a block inside, of course. Make sure you correctly name it as Yuke. And then go with the other one. And it's a scream. It's like, oh no! All right, and it's a Yuke. All right, and perhaps here we're gonna wanna put a couple of sounds. So before we close the lesson, let's go and check our code, see if it all works, and have some fun playing around with the game, even if it's not finished, because to be honest, that's one of the best parts, the testing. See how it all works, or it doesn't work. So we've got this yin yang to collect. All right, let's see. We're gonna go head over towards the house, find the house, and then should I knock? Let's say that we don't knock, but I'm getting wet. No choice. And we're inside the house, and the light appears. What's that spooky noise? That? Just a store. Is that a giant axe on the wall? That? Just for chopping wood. Why is it so cold? I'll get firewood. Stay here. Do not open the door. And she's moving. That's pretty cool, right? This is how you can make the animations. Let's see if she stops in the right spot. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, but I'm curious. And now he moves to that spot. Perhaps we can make a little bit further to the right. Should I open the door? And let's say no. I promised. But now there is a banging sound. Is someone trapped? And this is where the game ends. Right, guys, I hope you had fun in this lesson. I certainly did, as you can probably tell. We have tried to implement the story that we created in Miss Laura's lesson inside our game. We used the story block extension as well as the color extension. I've given you some terrible quality inspiration, but I hope you had fun anyways about the pixel art. So remember, if you want to design something specific for your game, remember to go to Google, write down the name of the object, for example, pen, and then follow that with pixel art. Click on images and find the one that you like, then copy paste it. Unfortunately, in Microsoft Arcade there's no way of importing it, so you're gonna have to do the hard work yourself. And as soon as you create a new tile or a new sprite of your own design, please do not forget to name it properly. So at the bottom right of the page you will see a white label that says asset name. Make sure you complete it correctly, because of course as the game gets bigger we're gonna have to be able to retrieve these things, so we cannot all call them tile 1, 2, 3, tile 632, right? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. With the next lesson I'm gonna show you how to include the special effects, the sound effects in your game, how to make a few, how to use the pre-made one. I hope you'll enjoy this next part of the journey of Momocuri. As always, stay curious. See you on the next video.